Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton is on a roll heading into WrestleMania 41. Meanwhile, the buff Barbie has thought about forming a stable, but it doesn't include Rhea Ripley. The WWE Universe has shipped Rhea Ripley and Tiffany Stratton following their short-lived alliance on Monday Night Raw. Strapley, as they are collectively called by their fans, have interacted and shared the ring after they both became the champions of their respective brands heading into WWE Royal Rumble 2025. In an interview with the Toronto Sun, the host asked the WWE Women's Champion, Tiffany Stratton, if she would like to have her own stable and which superstars she would want in it. Surprisingly, she didn't add Mommy to the list and wanted to form a trio with Kalani Jordan and Maxine Dupree. "I always wanted to start a stable or a faction, whatever you want to call it. Maybe Kalani Jordan down in NXT and Maxine Dupree. I feel like she got some stuff in her arsenal that I can kind of help bring out, and I feel like all three of us together, we would be undeniable," Stratton said. From 8:08 to 8:36. WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton made a bold request to Rhea Ripley. Earlier this year, Rhea Ripley and Tiffany Stratton conquered the women's division on their respective brands when both won the titles. However, the two have crossed paths frequently, but as friends and fellow champions instead of enemies on the main roster. In an interview on Ring the Bell, Tiffany Stratton spoke highly of Rhea Ripley heading into WrestleMania 41. During this, she stated she could make Mommy wear pink gear for a chance, and she would try to convince her to do so when she meets her the next time. "Rhea, I would love that. Would you wear pink for me? I think she would. Pink goth. I'm going to try to convince her," Stratton said. From 2:45 to 2:54. It'll be interesting to see if Stratton will be able to make Mommy appear in pink gear. Tiffany Stratton had always been the center of attention, whether in NXT or on WWE's main roster. The former NXT Women's Champion had the looks, the in-ring talent, and the attitude to match. But she knew that standing out in the cutthroat world of WWE required more than just skill and style, it required power. And power came in numbers. For months, speculation had run wild about Tiffany possibly aligning herself with other female stars to create a dominant faction. Some assumed she'd go after Rhea Ripley in the Judgment Day, while others speculated she'd try to recruit Becky Lynch or even Damage Control. But Tiffany Stratton had her own vision. She didn't want to be a follower in an established group, she wanted to build her own empire. And at last, on a fateful episode of WWE SmackDown, she did just that. Tiffany's big announcement. The WWE Universe was buzzing as Tiffany Stratton strutted down to the ring, microphone in hand, her signature pink gear shining under the lights. She had teased a major announcement all week, and now it was time to deliver. "Ladies and gentlemen," she said with a smirk, "you are looking at the future of WWE. You see, I am not just a star. I am a trendsetter. A blueprint. A once-in-a-lifetime athlete. And let's be real, I don't do basic. So why settle for a riding solo when I can build the most elite, most dominant, and, let's be honest, most aesthetically perfect faction in WWE history?" The crowd roared with a mix of cheers and boos. "And don't worry," she continued, "I didn't just pick anyone for this group. I picked the best. I picked the future. And let me introduce you to my first partner." The arena held its breath as the Titantron flashed a name no one expected. Carmelo Hayes joins the mix. The music hit, and out walked Carmelo Hayes, the former NXT champion, dripping in confidence. "Male I don't miss," Tiffany laughed, "and neither do I." Carmelo entered the ring, dapped up Tiffany, and took the mic. "You already know what it is," he said, smirking. "If Tiffany Stratton is talking about money, power, and the future, then y'all know I had to be part of it. We ain't here to play. We're here to take over." The crowd erupted in excitement. Tiffany and Carmelo were two of the most naturally gifted young stars in WWE, and their pairing was already sending shockwaves. But Tiffany wasn't done. "And if you thought that was big," she continued, "wait until you see who else I handpicked. This man is a monster. He is the most dominant force NXT has ever seen. He's not just joining this group, he's gonna make sure nobody dares step up to us." The arena went dark for a moment before a chilling entrance theme hit. "Braun Breaker brings the muscle." The crowd gasped as Braun Breaker stormed down the ramp, his sheer intensity radiating from every step. Braun had been carving his own path in WWE, but now he had backup, elite backup. He stepped into the ring, staring down the audience, before turning his attention to Carmelo and Tiffany. The tension was thick. After all, Melo and Braun had been bitter rivals in NXT. But now they were allies. "I've run through everyone in NXT," Braun growled into the mic. "Now I'm here to destroy SmackDown. And if anyone has a problem with that, they'll get speared through the mat." Tiffany clapped in delight. "See? This isn't just some cute little group. This is a movement. We have the brains, we have the skill, and we have the firepower. No one, not the Bloodline, not Judgment Day, not Damage Control, can stop us." She flipped her hair, flashing a devilish grin. "Consider this your warning, WWE." The faction's first statement. Before the night was over, Tiffany, Carmelo, and Braun wasted no time proving their dominance. In the main event of SmackDown, the Street Profits and Bianca Belair were set to face Bobby Lashley and the LWO. But just before the bell rang, Tiffany's new faction struck. Carmelo blindsided Montez Ford with a devastating kick. Braun Breaker speared Lashley through the barricade. And Tiffany? She took out Bianca Belair with a shocking beauty sleep moonsault onto a steel chair. The crowd was in chaos. WWE officials ran out to separate the mayhem, but the damage had already been done. Tiffany, Carmelo, and Braun stood tall in the ring, raising their hands in unison. They had just sent a message. The aftermath, reactions and fallout. The internet exploded. Fans and wrestlers alike were in shock over Tiffany's choices. Triple H tweeted, "The next generation is here. And they mean business. #WasMac down." Corey Graves on commentary, "This isn't just a faction. This is the future of WWE, and the rest of the locker room should be very nervous." Rhea Ripley was seen backstage, smirking. She knew Tiffany had deliberately chosen to form her own group instead of aligning with the Judgment Day. "Let's see if she can handle the pressure," Rhea reportedly said. Meanwhile, Montez Ford and Bianca Belair were furious. They called out Tiffany's faction the next week, challenging them to a match. But Tiffany, with her usual arrogance, refused to fight on their terms. "No, no, no," she laughed. "We don't accept challenges. We make them. You want to fight? Fine. But it'll be on our stage, at Elimination Chamber. And guess what? You won't even know which one of us is facing you until the bell rings." The bigger picture. Tiffany Stratton had done something no one saw coming. She took two of the most dominant young stars in WWE and molded them into a unit built for success. Carmelo Hayes brought charisma, precision, and championship pedigree. Braun Breaker brought raw power, intensity, and destruction. And Tiffany? She was the mastermind, the centerpiece. This wasn't just a faction. This was the beginning of a new era in WWE. Would they rule SmackDown? Would they challenge the Bloodline? Would they cross paths with the Judgment Day? One thing was certain. Tiffany Stratton had arrived as a leader. And WWE would never be the same again.